Alright guys, this is a video covering how to find sources for your career research paper. And so basically what we're going to do today is we're going to find one source using the library resource Academic Search Complete, and then we're going to find two sources on Google. And for each one of those sources, we're going to give a full works cited citation, a brief summary of the article in your own words, and a discussion of how credible and relevant it is. So for the first article, we're going to go to, we're going to look up this article on our library resources. So if you just search, you can see here I'm searching Kilgore College Library, and the first thing that pops up is our library. So we click on that, and it'll take us to this page. And if you need to pause the video or go back, just go ahead and do so. Down here at the bottom, it says A to Z database list. This is what we're going to click next. And then here we have a full list of all the different databases that the college has. The top one is just all of the miscellaneous ones, the ones that kind of work for everything, and then down here you have ones that are more specific. The more specific ones have more limited search results. The one that we're going to use should give us the most results, but some of them won't be super relevant, and so we'll have to sift through them. I prefer that to having the limited results. So we're going to click on General Miscellaneous, then we're going to click Academic Search Complete. You'll need to sign in now with your username and password. And then you'll be on this EBSCOhost page here. So Academic Search Complete is a search engine that looks through all sorts of different articles, millions of them, that have been mostly produced by people in colleges or research studies or things like that. But the problem with Academic Search Complete is it's not a very smart search engine, so you need to be very concise with your search terms. You also need to click this box down here. Under Limit Your Results, you want to click Full Text. If you don't click that, then it will give you results that aren't actually available to you, and you'd have to ask a librarian for them, and it could take you longer to get them than you would have to write your paper. Alright, so in this search box here, we're just going to make our search terms as concise as possible and search for the topic we're looking for. My topic is gamification in education. It's a way of running a classroom that I've never really tried, but I'm interested in. And so if I click on that, and I can put in gamification and then look down and see which ones of these seem most relevant. I'm going to go with this one here. So as you can see, not all of these are going to be useful to us. Some of them, like this one, are going to be in other languages. A lot of times you'll have ones that talk about things that aren't related to you. So I can skip over this one. Right now I'm going to look at the titles to try and see if I can find one that seems like it would be useful to me. The Effects of Gamification in Education, a Systemic Literature Review. Problem with literature reviews is it's just going to give me summaries of other articles, so I don't really want that. Development of Gamification in Addiction Education. So this is going to talk about helping people overcome addiction. I'm more looking for the results of people in college and regular school. This one's another one in a different language. Come on. Boosting student motivation through gamification in physical education, so that's going to deal with PE. And then number 6 here is the one I'm going to go ahead and click on. This is the attitudes of teacher candidates towards the gamification process in education. So I can open this in a new tab if I want to keep scrolling. So now I'm on the title page, the cover page for this article. This is not the article. This is just a cover page for it. We can see the title here. We can see all of the authors. We can see the search terms here. These are the next thing that you're going to want to look at. If the title seems like it'll be useful, I'm going to scroll through the search terms. These are the terms that the authors picked to put this up on the website and help people search for it. Students, teachers, teacher attitudes, COVID-19 pandemic, gamification, teachers. None of those contradict what I'm looking for, so I'll go ahead and keep looking. A lot of times you'll be able to tell from that if you're going to be way off base or not. The next thing I can look at here is the abstract. The abstract is going to be a short summary of your article. It's most articles that you'll find on Academic Search Complete will have one of these. That way you don't have to read the entire article before you know if you actually need it or not. You can instead read through the abstract and see if it will be useful for you. So I'm skimming through this abstract. Let's just say that I read through it and I can tell that it would be a useful study for me to use. Studies are always great. They'll have some useful data when you get to the bottoms of them usually. So I'm going to go ahead and use this. So to make, let's see, I had a Google Doc, here it is. To make my first part I need is a citation. And to cite this, I don't actually have to write a citation for it. I can go over here where it says Tools, and I can click Cite. And this will come up with a box filled with different citation styles. There are many different citation styles. Some of these you will use at some point in your college career. Others you're never actually going to see. You're never going to see Brazilian National Standard, probably. Never say never, I guess. You will eventually see APA, probably, if you do education, if you do nursing, if you do psychology. It's designed for psychology. Chicago, there's a couple of Chicago styles in here. You'll use those if you do history. Harvard, you would use if you did law. English always uses MLA, though, so we're going to go with MLA. Once I get to MLA, I can copy this part right here, and that is my citation. All I have to do is copy it, Control-C, and Control-V, right into my works cited page. So from here, the next thing I need to do is, okay, so next thing I need to do is write a short summary. To do that, I'm going to click off of this. I'm going to go down to the abstract. And for right now, all you need to do is read over the abstract and summarize it in your own words. So 1 or 2 sentences is fine for this assignment. That's all I'm really looking for. After you're done with this, you're going to need to read over this so that you're prepared to write your paper. But for right now, this will do. Just read over the abstract. Do not copy-paste the abstract. You'll lose points if you do that. Last of all, you need to, let's see, where were we? Last of all, you need to discuss how credible this article is. And the way to figure out if it's credible or not, you're going to open up the article. Since you clicked full text, you'll have a copy of your article over here somewhere or at the bottom. So this one has a PDF, and I'm going to open that right now. And here I can see the actual article. So I can scroll down through this, and I can see that it is published in Broad Research in Artificial Intelligence and Neuroscience, a academic journal. That's always a good sign. If it's published in like Time Magazine or People Magazine or something like that, that's not a super good source. If it's published by CNN or Fox News or something, that's also, I guess it's fine if you're talking about news, but it's not usually going to be very useful. You can see the same abstract here probably that we saw before. As we scroll down, we can see that there are a lot of in-text citations here. These are not MLA citations, they're APA, but you can see that they have them. As we scroll down more, we can see there's a lot of tables. It's really well organized. And then as we get to the bottom, there's 2 pages of works cited page here. So this is a credible article, and we would write all of that down and say that that's why it's credible. Okay, so that's the first part of the assignment done. That's all of these parts here. You can see a sample here of kind of what I'm looking for. This is for a slightly different article, though. For the next 2, you're going to find these on Google. So for this time, all you have to do is search for your topic on Google and try to find a couple of articles that show up. I'm going to type the same thing again, gamification in education, and a few different articles pop up here. I'm going to scroll down a little bit, and this was one that we found in class, 5 benefits of gamification, and it's by Smithsonian Science Education Center. Smithsonian is the people that made the Smithsonian Museum, the big museum in the U.S. So usually their articles are pretty good. Now this isn't going to be quite as scholarly as the one that we just saw. It's obviously made for a popular audience, but we can scroll down and see that it's written by 5 people here. 2 of them have PhDs. And as we scroll down further, we can see that it does have a works cited page down here with 4 different sources in it. So it's not great, but it's better than a lot of other sources that we might use. So now the problem with doing this from Google means that I'm going to have to make my own works cited citation, and I'm going to have to read over this to make a summary of it. But that's not super difficult to do. So to make a works cited citation for this article, first thing I'm going to do is go over to Google Docs. I always recommend using Google Docs because it's a lot easier than using any of the other citation machine tools that I've seen, and it gets it right most of the time. So in my sample paper here, I'm going to go to where it says Tools, and I'm going to scroll down to Citations. Over on the side here, this box has opened up. You can select the citation style you want between MLA, APA, and Chicago. We're going to go MLA again, of course. The other one's MLA 9th, this one's 8th. There's not that big of a difference. It's not a big deal. I'm going to click Add Source Citation. I think that's what we clicked. And then we don't want a book. This isn't a book that we're reading here. This is an article from a website. So we're going to go down to website. And then it asks us to put in the URL. Sometimes we can put in the URL and it will add in all of the information for it. So if somebody has cited this before, then it should all be there. But let's see. Alright. So it has everything except the contributors, which is the authors. It has the date published, it has the date accessed, which is the date, it has the URL, the website title, and it has the title. So from there we're going to click Continue, and we just need to put in all of these authors. So there's 5 of these bad boys that we need to find here. We're just going to copy paste those right into the citation machine here. And to add another contributor, we're just going to click plus contributor right here. And we'll keep going. And we'll keep doing that until we have all 5 of them. Let's pretend like I did all 5. So now I'm going to scroll through this, make sure everything else is right. The publisher here is the same as the website, so we're going to just use it that way. Yeah, Smithsonian Science Education Center is the website, so we don't need to put a publisher if the website and publisher are the same thing. We have the URL, we have the date published, we have the date accessed, and we don't need a short version of the title. We would only do that if we were citing an article that didn't have authors in it. Everything else here looks fine, so we're going to click Add Citation Source. And we can see there our full MLA citation has been added. So we would go through and we do this for our other article as well. And once we're done, we're going to click Insert Works Cited, and it will spit out our works cited right here into the text. And then below that, for each of the 2 articles that you cite with Google, what you're going to need to do is skim through it and give a brief summary of what the article is about. This article, very easily, by looking at the titles, I can see that it's going to give us some of the history of gamification. It's talking about Dmitry Mendeleev, interesting. And that it talks about some of the benefits, 5 of the benefits. So that's what I would put in my summary. Last of all, for this one, I would need to give a discussion of how credible it is. I would mention then that it was a popular website. It's made for regular people to consume, but that it was written by people with PhDs, and that it had 4 sources in it, and that made it a credible enough source. If you end up with sources that aren't super credible, just mention them. You don't have to find a new source, you just have to be honest about what you have. Alright, so to summarize, you need one source from Academic Search Complete, 2 sources from Google, and then you need to give full citations for each one, and short summaries, and what was the other thing? How credible it is. Alright. Good luck, guys. See you all in class.